Back in a heap of ugliness, mean old Ma Fratelli's come back for revenge. And this time she plans to do away with the Goonies for good. One by one, this crazed mama and her two nutty sons have kidnapped your fellow Goonies, hauling them off to a spooky shack and hiding them in a maze of adventure filled with danger, including the slippery ice cavern, secret underground sea, and eerie attic. Now you're the only Goonie left. The fate of your friends is in your hands, but saving the day won't be easy. Armed with your trusty yo-yo and whatever weapons you can find, you'll be forced to fight off fearsome foes and solve menacing mysteries. You'll have to be willing to risk it all, being brave and bold to rescue your buddies, the Goonies. In The Goonies II, from Konami, in 1987. It's an adventure game. How about that? Action-adventure. Very La Mulana-ish. Very Maze of Gallius-ish. Which would make sense because Konami was pretty big into that kind of stuff. It is the sequel to the first Famicom game, The Goonies, which was only available in North America on the Nintendo Versus System and the PlayChoice 10 arcade unit. This actually led some people to believe that it was supposed to be a sequel to the Goonies movie, which was never actually produced. We center on Mikey. His friends, the Goonies, have been kidnapped by the Fratellis. And we have to rescue all 6 friends and free a captured mermaid named Annie, who did not appear in the film. Okay, we have 2 modes of gameplay in this game, platform and first person. Most of the game is played as a platformer. The player works through a non-linear map. We move Mikey to new areas by ladders or doors that may act as warp zones. Several different types of zones are found in the game, each with distinct enemies, graphics, and music. When the player exits the platform screen by entering the door, the game shifts to a first-person mode. Using a command menu similar to Shadowgate, which was released around the same time, the player explores the area by navigating through rooms, searching for hidden items, and interacting with NPCs. The items the player finds may be useful on the overworld, such as weapons or transceivers, or within rooms themselves, such as a candle, key, and ladder. The player will find the 6 Goonies in cells in this mode. Each rescued Goonie increases Mikey's health. There are a number of weapons the player can use, and the player can equip both a primary and secondary weapon, kind of like Zelda. Our 3 primary weapons are the yo-yo, a slingshot, and the boomerang. We also get a bomb and a Molotov cocktail as secondary weapons. We can increase Mikey's carrying capacity of each by finding additional cases of them. And the explosive weapons that have a blast radius can actually damage Mikey if he's in range. But the bomb can be used to find hidden doors. There are also 2 different pairs of performance boosting shoes in the game. Spring shoes increase our jumping ability, and hyper shoes increase Mikey's speed. What the player has to do in order to obtain certain vital items is sometimes obscure. For example, the candle, which is necessary to finishing the game, is obtained when Mikey hits a specific old woman 5 times in a row for no apparent reason. Our NPCs include an old man, dressed entirely in white and carries a cane. He often marks the appearance of warp zones. The old woman wears a white dress and sits on the floor. Sometimes gives you cryptic advice. Will sometimes also declare that it's fun to play the Goonies too. And this is the lady you have to hit 5 times if you want the candle. There's Konami Man. He kind of looks like Superman. Will completely refill your health as often as you enter his room, though these rooms are often difficult to reach. The earliest instance requires the player to try and enter a room directly underneath a damaging waterfall while riding a moving platform. If you punch Konami Man, he will cease being helpful for the entire remainder of the game, replying basically, "I don't give you energy because you hit me." Konami Man is also sometimes called Captain Konami. We have an Eskimo. He informs you that he is an Eskimo. In the Japanese version, he says, "I am Eskimo." "Oh, you didn't call me here? Sorry, pardon me." And this is a reference, according to this, of the signature gag of the late Japanese comedian Hitoshi Ueki. Of a fish man, he can be found in underwater rooms. He sometimes gives you bonus items. We have the Goonies. We have Ambassador Konami, a strange yellow man resembling a space alien who tells you rescue all 6 Goonies to help Annie. He appears in one room in the volcano area of the game, and Annie the mermaid. In addition to the consequences of hitting people above, hitting them with a fist prompted the compelling broken English response, "Ouch! What do you do?" If hit with a hammer, they say, "Please help me." It's kind of developed a cult following among games. A game was received with mildly positive reviews and is typically given average or mildly positive ratings, and it is still known among gamers for several reasons. The game was unique with its mix of platform and first-person exploration, and players still recall confusion at the title given the family computer game The Goonies was never released for the NES. Anywhere, except Japan, and there was no sequel to the motion picture. References to the game even appear in elements of pop culture, including the title of Homestar Runner's FAQ page. Yeah, how about that? The Goonies II can be seen being played in the movie My Blue Heaven in the hotel scene, though the sound effects are not in the game. Goonies 2 can be seen being played in the movies Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Roderick Rules, Dog Days, and there's also seen being played by Agent J in Men in Black 3. In the iMockery mashup game, A Bobo's Big Adventure, Annie the Mermaid appears behind a door in the second level and offers 4 options to eat, hit, mate, or vomit. If the player selects any option but mate, it will upset Annie in various ways and you will be told to leave. Oh, there you go. The song Save Dat Mermaid by the Gothsicles is about that game. And The Advantage cover the game's music on their self-titled album. What can I say? This is a really good game. I've always had fun with it, even though I've really been horrible at it my whole life. This review is actually going on quite long because there's a lot to say about this game. Having been introduced to Maze of Gallius, La Mulan, and games like that, I've really become more fond of the Goonies 2, just because I understand a little more where it's coming from and why it was built the way it was built and everything. And it's just a fun but challenging game.